All right, shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash. That's all honor and glory to the Most High God through His Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, and of course the Holy Spirit. Right, back at it again with another quick cold cut, man. Right. Of course, we want to give all honor and glory to your Most High, but also I want to give a sincere and hearty shalom to the sincere Akwath Akim that's out there doing everything they can to magnify the name of the Lord in these last days, pushing the word in sincerity and faith. Right, out there doing the work, shaking their hand if they're a man, right? If they're a woman, doing everything they can to reverence the name of the Lord by reverencing their husband, being submissive, being teachers of good things in the household. And if they're not married yet, still doing everything they can by reverencing the Lord, right? Learning the ways of our righteous ancestors, Sarah, Esther, Judith, Mary, and so on and so forth, man. And of course, always want to give a shalom to the sincere children out there that's doing everything they can, reverencing their parents, trying to raise themselves up as be raised as righteous children in the last days, man. Right. And of course, I want to give double honors to the elect elders that's been pushing this word of sincerity and faith for many years. Right. This is just going to be a quick cold cut. This ain't going to be long at all. Right. Lord willing, through the Spirit, somebody to be edified. Right. So this one is entitled Brothers and Sisters. Something that we need. Hold on. Let me make sure I get it right. Something brothers and sisters need to realize. So like it. Something brothers and sisters need to realize, man. Right. So in these last days, we got to constantly be paying attention and watching, right? There's certain things that we have to be watching for in these last days, and certain things that we must know in these last days in order for us to continue through and walk in perfection, man, as the Lord commanded us to do. Let me get that first, right? It's the book of Deuteronomy, right? It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, and verse number 3. Like it. And it reads, and this shall, is that what I want? So like 13. Yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power. Right? So we're commanded to be perfect with the Most High. And there's certain things that we have to be aware of in order for us to be perfect. Right? And being perfect doesn't mean you're not going to fall. Right? Many people fail and are still and can still be perfect. Right? Hey, Job fell. But what does it say about Job? Let's get this real quick. Right? Before we get into the lesson, let's just get some understanding. Right? It's the book of Job, chapter 1, right? In verse number 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. Right? It says Job was perfect, right? But it also tells you to read, right? Let's get the book of Job, chapter 13. Right? It's the book of Job, chapter 13, and verse 23. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgressions and my sin. Right? So the Job is asking, right? He's asking how many of his iniquities and his sins make me to know my transgressions and my sins. Right? There's another one in here. So let me see. Let me get this. Right? So lock here, bear with me. I think it's 26 I want. So lock here. Let me see. Try to find this real quick. Bear with me. Kind of forgot the precept. Right, Job 31. Like it's the book of Job, chapter 31, right? In verse number 33. And it reads, if I covered my transgressions as Adam by hiding my iniquity in my bosom. Right? So he's letting you know he had transgressions, but he was still perfect. Why? Because he eschewed evil. He walked in his integrity, right? And whenever he fell, he got back up. Right? And that day, he had to make a sacrifice, right? A sin offering, a peace offering unto the Most High, right? But nowadays with grace, if we get back up and we continue to walk in righteousness, we can obtain perfection, right? But there's things that we must know and be looking for in these last days in order for us to walk in uprightness and walk in perfection, right? If we don't know something is up there, something that's set up to create us to stumble, or we don't have spiritual eyes and discern something that's right before our face that's set up for us to stumble, then hey, how are we gonna be able to protect ourselves from it? How are we gonna be able to cast Satan down when we don't know Satan is in front of us, man? Right? So the whole purpose of this video is what? Right? Satan uses women to make men stumble. Right? It's something that a lot of men got to realize, and a lot of women as well, especially if you're married. Right? Women got to understand, because a lot of women have a problem with accepting the fact, right, that they may have a demon on them. Hey, men have demons on them as well, right? But women have a problem with accepting that fact, right? And Satan will literally hop on a woman, right? Just to do what? To get a man to fall. Right. And we're going to get a couple of precepts to back that understanding up, man. Right. Let's start off with the book of Ezekiel. Right. The book of Ezekiel. Let's get some context. Chapter 31. Right. In verse number 8. The cedars in the garden of Yahweh could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches. This is dealing with Adam, right? Nor any tree in the garden of Yahweh was like unto him and his beauty, right? Because Adam was set apart. Why? Because he had the living waters of the Most High. He had the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High God. No other nation had it but him, right? It says what? I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of Yahweh envied him. So all the other nations in the garden literally envy Adam, man. Right? And yes, this is talking about a tree, but anybody who knows anything knows that trees are likened unto men in the scriptures. Right? I'm gonna get one quick precept on that. Right? Even though this is a precept on that, I'm gonna get one quick precept on that to back it up, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Psalms. Right? Just in case there's somebody new in the faith watching the video. It says what? Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Most High, and his law doeth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Right? So it's talking about his leaves not withering. Right? Saying he's going to be a tree planted by the rivers of water. What's that water? The living waters, which Adam had, right? Because it tells you that in verse 4. This is Psalm 31 in verse 4. The waters made him great. The deep set him up on high, and her rivers running round about his plants, and set out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. Right? The waters made him great. Them living waters of the Most High. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High made Adam great. Right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 1. Right, just to prove everything. Right, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 5. The word of the Most High is a fountain of wisdom, and her ways everlasting commandments. So the words of the Most High are a fountain of wisdom. So Adam was not like any other tree in the garden, any other man or nation in the garden. Why? Because he had the waters, the wisdom of the Most High, right? And all the other trees, the nations, the people envied Adam. So all of them wanted Adam to fall, right? So let's go back. Right? To the book of Genesis. They wanted him to fall, but they knew, hey, they couldn't get Adam to go off on their own. They couldn't get Adam to kind of just fall off. They couldn't come to Adam with some kind of strange doctrine, and Adam kind of just was like, yeah, I kind of get that. I see that. No, they couldn't do that. Right? But they understood through his weaker vessel, they would be able to reach him. Right? What's the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 3 and verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Right? Said unto the woman. Hey, he didn't say it unto Adam. He didn't come to Adam. Matter of fact, let's read up. Right? Verse I'm gonna read 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, had Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden. Right? So he didn't say that to Adam. He literally said it to the woman. Right? He said it to the woman and not to Adam. Why is that? Right? Because he knew that he would be able to reach the weaker vessel. And through the weaker vessel, he'd be able to get to Adam. And that's the same way Satan operates today. Right? So he kind of sees he can't get to you any other way. He's like, I know how to get to you. I'm going to tap into his wife's mind. Right? And when I tap into his wife's mind, hey, she going to kind of get to him. Now he going to fall off. Hey, our brothers and sisters got to kind of understand that in these last days. Why? One, men, you got to understand that and kind of sit down with your wife, go through the precepts, kind of let her know, bring it out to her through the spirit. Hey, you know, Satan can use you, man, to bring me down. And if he bring me down, hey, the whole household comes down, man. Right? You go through the precepts and you kind of show her, man, and if she's sincere and she loves you, she'll begin to check herself whenever Satan hops on her, man. Right? It says what? Had Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for Yahweh doeth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Right? So what she gave the she was seduced, and through her seduction, right, she gave it unto her husband. Right? That was the plan all along. Right? The plan all along was literally to get Adam to go off. Because when you read on in the account, Yahweh, when he addresses Adam through the prophet, and he didn't address Eve. Why did you eat the fruit? He addressed Adam. Because the whole thing was about Adam, about being able to get Adam to fall, right? Not about being able to get Eve to fall, right? Doesn't mean that women are not important. They're extremely important, right? But chiefly, the Most High is dealing with men. And because the Most High is dealing with men, Satan wants to block men. He wants to stop men, right? Let's get this in the book of 1 Timothy. It's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression, right? So the woman was deceived. And through her being deceived, what? She brought that deception unto her husband and brought him low. Hey, through this right here, through Eve doing this right here, death entered into the world, man. Death entered into the world because of that, man. Right? Let's get this in the book of Romans. So imagine if Adam would have just realized what was going on. So imagine if you sisters will realize what's going on when Satan hops on you, trying to get you to get your man to go off, man. Right? It's the book, right, of Romans chapter 5 and verse 12. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. Right? For by one man. So that sin that Adam brought into the world through his wife, allowing Satan to hop on her and then bringing her husband down, death entered into the world. Right? So we got to kind of understand that. We got to look at that account and kind of understand that, man. It's a very important and heavy account. A lot of brothers kind of just read past that, not understanding that there's a deeper level to that. The deeper level to that is literally the fact that Satan is going to continuously use the woman in order to bring the man down. Right? So the book of Numbers. Right? The book of Numbers, chapter 25. Right? It's the book of Numbers, chapter 25, right? In verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifice unto their gods. And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Most High was kindled against Israel. So once again, Israel joined unto the daughters of Moab, the woman, and Satan used those women to entice the Israelites into what? Damn bowing down to Baal Peor, the gods of the damn Moabites, man. Right? Damn going into idolatry. Why? Because of the women. Right? Understand that's a very important and prevalent thing that continues to happen throughout the scripture. right? Satan continues to hop on the woman and then brings the damn deception and brings the sin unto the man and casts the man down through the woman, right? And a lot of brothers and sisters continue to ignore this, what's going on, right? Let's get another precept. Let's go to, just had a precept in my mind. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Matthew, right? Because chiefly, Satan, he can hop on anybody, right? And he's going to always try to hop on the people that's close to you, around you, if they're not in the spirit, right? And the person that's usually the closest to a man, if he's married, is usually his woman, right? Hey, Yahushua didn't have a woman. So who did Satan try to use? The person he was closest to, Peter, right? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 16, right? In verse number 22. I'm gonna start at 21 for context. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from me, be it far from me, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men. Right? So he literally looked at Peter, who was not only his best friend and a disciple and a righteous man, and said, Get thee behind me, Satan. Meaning Satan hopped on Peter in that moment, man. So how much more so your wife? How much more so the woman you're courting? Right? Literally, man. And if we're not examining this thing and looking at things through spiritual eyes, then we'll never be able to discern it, and we'll fall right into the trap that Satan set before our eyes, man. Satan is literally going to use your woman before he uses anybody else if he can't get to you another way. Now, if you're weak and every other way works, he kind of taps in your mind, got with lust, and next thing you know, you kind of hollering at the girl at the gym or at the girl at the gas station. Right now, you're going off, right? Or he kind of taps in your mind and you smell a little weed, you kind of go smoke a blunt, then he don't have a need to jump and use your woman. But if you're a little bit stronger and you withstand a lot of other temptations that he puts before you, then guess what? Hey, you're going to kind of hop on your woman, man, and use her some kind of way, right? It could be her trying to bring you a strange doctrine. It could be her just acting a fool and getting you out the spirit. You kind of want to do a video when you got home, and you come home and all hell breaks loose. Now you low. You don't want to do the video anymore, right? Or just whatever, man, putting you through hell. And next thing you know, you wanted to read, but you're out the spirit. You don't want to read now, right? Hey, that's Satan, man. That's Satan literally using your woman to get you to go the hell off, to get you not to focus, to get you to have your mind somewhere else, man, other than the Most High God, right? Let's get this. Classic. And First Esdras, right? And every man has fell victim to this, man. Every man has fell victim to this, and every man has allowed Satan to jump on their women and get them out the spirit, man. But that's why the Lord put it on my spirit to make this video. Lord willing, somebody sees it, right, and is edified and learns to and finds ways to gird themselves up and actually sit down and show their woman these things that now their woman will understand. Hey, that's Satan. That's why I'm acting a fool, man. I got to get right. Kind of got to rebuke myself, right? It's the book, right, of First Esdras chapter 4 in verse number 22. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal and to sail upon the seas, upon the rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth into darkness. And when he have stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Wherefore a man love his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Right? So what? Hey, Jake do stuff like that all the time, man. Jake then robbed somebody, then stole from somebody, then sold dope, then shot somebody, and all that for what? For a woman. For a woman. Running out of their wits for a woman, kind of sitting behind a jail cell, handcuffed in Harris County Jail. Houston. So Harris County Jail, right? Damn, sitting there, frowned up because he went and did something stupid for a woman. It happens all the time, man. How much more so when you a man of the Lord, and you're doing the work of the Lord on a high level. And Satan trying every way he can, kind of trying to grab you this way, you ain't going. Trying to grab you that way, you're not going. Next thing you know, he kind of hop on your wife. Now he got you, right? Many there be that have ran out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. It says what? Many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women, right? That's plain, man. It happens all the time. So our people got to understand, hey, Satan gonna kind of hop on a woman, right, to get to you. Our sisters got to understand, hey, Satan gonna kind of hop on you, hey, to get to your husband, man. And you got to kind of put that in your mind and understand, hey, don't let that be you. That's not your job to tear your husband down. Your job is this, right? It's the book, Sirach, chapter 26, right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 26, and verse, let me see. Is that what I want? Slack, bear with me. What? Salakia. Bear with me. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Bear with me. Salaki. It's the book of Sirach, 26 and verse 22. And it reads, a harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband, right? So you're supposed to be a tower against death. You're not supposed to be damn deaf to your husband, man. You're not supposed to be bringing death down upon your husband by being a damn demon in the household, man, right? By allowing Satan to hop on you and you kind of just going the hell off, man, right? You know what his weakness is, man. Hey, women know what their husband's weaknesses are. And they kind of know how to push the right button to kind of get them mad, man. And Satan kind of taps into her brain and then gets her to push that button. And now you vexed and you mad. You all pissed off, man. Right now you don't want to read the scripture, kind of slam your book, and you want to storm out the house, man. Right? Or you kind of want to go in the room and shut the door because she done pissed you off. Right? Now instead of doing the video, right, you're in the room soaking. Right? Now instead of reading the scriptures, you're kind of sitting back watching TV, trying to diffuse your anger. Or you poured you a cup of strong drink of yan, trying to feel better, man. Now you're going off, right? Now you're kind of on the app, scrolling through the phone, trying to see what you going off, man. All for what? Because Satan hopped on your woman, and then now put that spirit on you, man, and get you to get low, right? Get you out of the spirit. Let's get another account, right? Let's go to the book of Job. Like I said, man, hey, he'll try everything, man. Satan will literally try everything. And when that doesn't work, you've been strong through everything else, and he's going to kind of try to tap into the woman, right? It's the book of Job, right? I'm going to jump around a little bit. Chapter 1, right? In verse number 13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabines fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only escaped alone to tell you. Right? So I'm going to jump down to verse 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house, and behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they were dead. They are dead. And I only escaped alone to tell you. Right. So he lost his oxen. Right. He lost his children. Right. All these various different things he lost. Right. And now what? He still remains his integrity. Satan has tried to take everything away from Job, but he remains his integrity. He hasn't lost that yet. Right. So this is a book of Job, to the 2 and verse 7. And it says what? So went Satan forth from the presence of the Most High and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. Now what? Now he kind of tried to smite him on his body, right? Trying to take away his health. Still didn't work. What's next? And he took him a potsherd and scraped himself withal and sat down among the ashes and said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse Yahweh and die. Right? So what, man? Satan hopped on his wife and tried to get him to curse the Most High and die. Satan tried everything else. Tried to take everything away from him. Tried to kill it. Took everything away from him. Didn't work. Killed his children. Didn't work. Took his health. Didn't work. Right? Now he hops on his wife. And because Job retained his integrity, right? He didn't fall for it, man. What did he say? But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hands of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips, man. Right? So Job didn't fall for it. Hey, brothers, you can't fall for it, man. You gotta, it's hard to do it sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to do it. Sometimes it's hard to examine it. Sometimes it's hard to know, right? But we kind of gotta use these spiritual eyes and discern, man. Hey, man, we had a mighty class this week, man. Or we had a mighty camp this week. Or I've been ducking and dodging Satan all week, man. And all of a sudden, now my woman's acting a fool. Hey, that's Satan, man. That's Satan, right? Let's get another precept. Go to the book of Judges, right? It's the book of Judges, chapter 16 and verse 4. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came unto her and said unto her, entice him and see wherein this great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and he will give thee every one of us 1,100. We will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver, right? And this is Samson, right? An Israelite and a man of the Lord, a Nazarite and a man of the Lord, right? And what? He fell in love with a woman, and this woman is being what? Paid now, right? For him to give up his secrets, right? Let's see. Let's jump down to verse 16. And it says, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death. Ain't that what women do? Press you daily with their words, right? Ain't that what your wife would do to you when she really wants something from you or really want to get on you or get on your nerves? Press you daily with her words to vex you, till you either go off, kind of curse her out, or you kind of go off, you burn out the house, right? Kind of left the house, or you want to go to sleep, or you just start drinking, or whatever it may be, right? Is that not what women do? Press you with their words until you're vexed unto death, right? And it says what? That he told her all his heart, right? Just because he wanted her to shut up. So Satan used Delilah, right, to tempt Samson for him to go the hell off, right? Says what? Yeah, man. Talking like the brother said, talking about you don't need to fast. You don't need to fast. What are you fasting for? Right? You're going off, man. You don't need to go to camp. You don't need to, why you gotta go to camp every week? You can't stay home 1 week. You could just stay home. You're gonna leave me here with the kids every weekend. Yeah, vex your soul unto death, man. Next thing you know, you're kind of sitting at home from camp. Going off, man. Why? Because you didn't realize, hey, that's Satan, man. Then the brothers they in a group chat. Hey, we had a mighty camp this week. And you wasn't even there. You was at home instead. You could have been getting the blood cleansed off your hands by doing the work of the Lord, but she kind of damn vexed you by telling you ain't got to go to camp every week. You've been going to camp 2 years straight. You ain't got to go to camp this week. And you vexed her to death, so you kind of stay home. And if you don't have the spiritual eyes to understand that Satan, and even to sit her down and let her realize through the precepts, through the scriptures, hey, that's Satan trying to get on you to get me to go off, right? And you got to be right. You're supposed to be a tower against death for me, man. You're not supposed to push me towards death, right? Hey, if you bring me down, this whole household fall, man. Let me get this precept. We'll come back to that. Book of Proverbs, right? The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, and verse 1. It says, what? Every wise woman buildeth her house, but The foolish pluck it down with her hands, right? So, hey, a wise woman gonna build her house, right? And we're talking about, spiritual house, your body, yeah, on one fold, but on another fold, hey, your actual physical home where you have with your husband, hey, you can pluck it down with your hands by tearing your husband down, man. Your whole house is gonna crumble if you tear down the head of your house, right? What part of the snake do you got to cut off in order for it to die? The head. Boom. Who's the head of the house? Your man, right? So if you cut him off, you cut him down, man. Hey, guess what? Your whole household gonna fall. You're gonna pluck down your whole house with your hands, man. And a lot of women, because of their emotions, right? Because of insecurity, right? Because of pride and lack of accountability, right? Literally continue to pull their house down with their hands, man. That's why they refuse to accept, hey, I got a spirit on me, man. I'm going off. Those women that can't accept they got a spirit on them and accept that they're going off, they can never be corrected. They'll never hold themselves accountable. They will never allow you to hold them accountable. And with that, they'll never be able to get those spirits off of them. Because the first part of repentance is what? Confessing it. And if you can't confess with your mouth, hey, I got a spirit on me that's getting on my husband, bringing my husband down, right? Then guess what? It's never going to come off of you. And you'll continue to tear your house down, man. And if a husband can't sit down and discern it and then go through the precepts and kind of show his wife, hey, look, you understand, Satan, he kind of uses the woman, man. Since the beginning of time, since Adam. Look what happened, man. Literally, death entered into the world because Adam fell victim to his wife, man. Because Satan hopped on his wife and he didn't acknowledge it. He didn't realize it. He could have rebuked her for that, whatever folly she came with, man. If he would have acknowledged it. Instead, he fell victim into it like so many brothers do, man. Right back to Judges, the book of Judges, chapter 16 and verse 17, right? And it says what? That he told her all his heart and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto Yahweh from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like unto other men. And Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, and they kind of could tell when you gave in too. Yeah, I got him. He gave in. I got him. Right? So it says what? She sent and called for the Lord. She sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep. She made him sleep. Kind of rest his head on her bosom. Kind of was pulling on his beard a little bit, getting them to relax. You know how it is. Jake kind of like his beard to be played with a little bit by his rib, kind of resting on her bosom. He kind of fell asleep, man. Meanwhile, they kind of creeping in the back door, right? It says what? Right, it says right here, and she made him sleep upon her knees. So it was upon her knees on her lap, right? And she called for the men, and she caused him to shave off. She caused him to shave off 7 of his locks of his head, and began to afflict him, and his strength went from him, right? And chiefly to understand, right, it's not only dealing with the hairs of his head. He literally broke his vow unto the Most High, right? He literally broke his vow unto the Most High, right? The hair is symbolic for his Nazarite vow. His Nazarite vow is supposed to be for all his life. So his hair should have never, ever been cut, right? So he broke his vow by his hair being cut. So now the Lord departed from him. And all this happened, what? By the hands of a woman. Because he didn't realize, as strong as Samson was, the strongest man to walk the earth, as strong as he didn't realize with spiritual eyes, not carnality, because he was what? He was carnally strong, physically strong, but he wasn't spiritually strong enough to realize, hey, this woman is being used by Satan to cast me out. He didn't realize that, man. That's why you can work out in the gym all you want to, do as many curls as you want, kind of get in there, do as many pull-ups as you want to do. If you ain't exercising your brain, right, really spiritually, by doing what? Praying, fasting, being diligent, staying in the words of the Most High God, being on the phone with other like-minded brothers and sisters, then you're not going to have the spiritual strength that you need to have in a time of temptation, man, to discern what's going on. Because Samson was the strongest man to live, man. And what? He couldn't discern that a woman was being used by Satan. Hey, we read in Matthew 16, how was I discerning like that? He discerned like that, told Peter, hey, get behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense to me. Hey, if he would have seen that through that woman, he could have kind of cast her out. Hey, get behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense to me. Hey, And Samson would have never got his eyes put out, never been afflicted. Right? Let's get another account. Let's go to the book, 1 Samuel. Right? It's a lot. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18. What time is it? It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18, right? In verse number 19. But it came to pass at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given unto Adriel, the Mehathalathite, to wife. And Michal, Saul's daughter, loved David. And they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. And Saul said, I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. Wherefore Saul said to David, thou shalt this day be my son-in-law, the one of the twain. Right now, the whole thing is, right, Saul understood it. He said, hey, I'm gonna give her my call, that she'll be a snare unto him, man. Right? What does snare mean, man? Let's look up the word snare. Right? Let's go to the blue letter. So lucky, let me share my screen. Right? Right. Lord, want everybody can see my screen. Right. Right. It should be right? 21, Salakia. Right. Let's play it.
Strong's H 4170. Mokesh.
Mokesh. It says bait, lure, snare, man. A noose for catching animals, literally or figuratively by implication, a hook, be ensnared. Right? That's plain, man. Bait, a noose, to lure. Those are not good words, man. Those are not good words. So, hey, Saul understood that, man. Hey, I'm gonna kind of give him my daughter for a snare unto him, right? So these women could be a snare unto you through what? Through Satan, hopping on them and getting them to get you to go off, right? Let's get another one because we're already in 1 Samuel. 2 Samuel, I need. Right? Matter of fact, no, we'll leave that one alone. Let's go to 1 Kings 21. Right? We'll close out with that. It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 7. Right? And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, Doest thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise, eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. And that's the same way your wife kind of get in your ear to get you to go off too. Have you do something unrighteous. Same way, man. Right? You be the damn officer of the camp. Are you not the officer of the camp? Are you not the officer of the camp? Are you not the head of the camp? Right? Kind of get in your head. You kind of like, yeah, I am the head of the camp. You know what I'm saying? And that should kind of get you to do something that you shouldn't do. Right? Just like this, man. Even though we already know Ahab was wicked as hell. But this right here, what he did right here, right? This what got him the ultimate sentence against his whole household. And we're going to read the account. Through what? Through Satan using his woman to get him to be more wicked than he already was. Right? So it says what? I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in the cities dwelling in Naboth. And she wrote in the letters saying, proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people and set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme Yahweh and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die. Right? So, hey, she kind of set up a whole damn coup against this man. right? In the name of her husband. And he didn't stop her. He didn't rebuke her and say, nah, that's Satan. That's going too far. That's going too far now. We can't have innocent blood. That's going too far, right? So it says, I'm going to jump down to verse 13. It says, and there came in 2 men, children of Belial, that sat before him, and the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme the Most High and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones, right? So, hey, it happened. What she said was going to happen, happened, right? So now we're going to jump down to verse 20. And Ahab said unto Elijah, hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of the Most High. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. Right. So from that one act, because he listened to his wife, he allowed his wife, right, to pretty much run the show in his name, right? Hey, and commit wickedness in his name, right? Now, literally, the Lord say, hey, he gonna cut off all men that pisses against the wall, man. That means you ain't gonna have no sons that's gonna raise up in your house. Period. That's a wrap for you. Right? Literally through what? Through a woman. Through his wife. Not understanding what? That Satan is literally using your wife to tear you down, man. To do the things that's pleasing unto him and unpleasing to the Most High, and ultimately to cast you out. So, brothers and sisters, Lord willing, brothers and sisters, take heed to this video. Go through, look at the precepts yourself and the other accounts as well, right? Look through them, study on them, meditate on them, and understand, man, that Satan literally is using and is going to use your wife to pull you out this truth. And sisters, understand the same thing. Satan is using and will use you to pull your man out this truth, man, to bring him low and to tear your house down. And with that, Lord willing, somebody was edified or will be edified in the coming days. Shalom.